Great afternoon, great afternoon. This is Tina C. Hines, your life transformation specialist. Uh, Let me give you my little schmeal. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. We are here talking about Wisdom Wednesdays, and for some of the new people, let me tell you a little bit about myself. First, the work that I do. I help women age 40 to 50 heal from old emotional wounds that have restricted them from growing and experiencing a better life. If you are a woman, you between the ages of 40 and 50, or maybe a little bit higher, and you in the process of growing to experience a better life, put in the comments, that's me. That's me. Now, for the most part, I am really known for my straight, no chaser approach when it comes to your healing, where we get to the core of your emotional challenges so you can move forward on your life journey. Unlike other programs that you probably have participated in, or other pages you have probably followed, or other videos that you have probably watched, I focus on present life challenges, but that stem from your past. Present life challenges that stem from your past. So if some of you are having some present life challenges, or in the not too distant present, you've had some challenges and they probably stem from your past, say, oh, Tina, that's me too. Because what I've discovered is this community is filled with a bunch of phenomenal women who have all had their own personal challenges in life. And ultimately, especially if you're hanging out in here and hanging around me, your goal is not to remain stuck there. Your goal is to go on a journey from hurting to healing to happiness, ultimate happiness, and happiness based on what it looks like for you, not based on what other people's opinions are, what other people have said it should look like, or what theirs is, because you gotta stop comparing yourself to other people, because your journey is not like their journey. Your journey is a little bit different. So inside of here, we're talking about some healing. We're applying some different strategies in order for you to fulfill your dreams of happiness. Today's topic on Wednesday, Wisdom Wednesdays, is 4 barriers holding you back from using your power, standing in your greatness. Some of these words that you've had, one of these 4 barriers you've probably heard. Maybe 2 you've probably heard. Maybe all 4 of them you've probably felt. And you may have not recognized that that's what's limiting you in standing in your greatness and in your power. In order to release the problem, first you got to recognize it, and then you have to work through it. Many times we tell ourselves the big word, it's hard. It's hard. I can't do that because it's hard. And sometimes you've told yourself in your mind, because it's a mindset, that you are incapable of doing something and you haven't even tried it yet. That's the funny part. It's hard, but you haven't tried it. How do you know it's hard? Are you basing your hard on someone else's hard? Or do you know for a fact? I'm just wondering. Because every time I hear that word of someone saying it's hard, I'm like, do you know it's hard for you? Or are you basing your hard on someone else's opinions or something that someone else has said to you? So here are the 4 barriers holding you back. Fear. And for those people who watch the replay, write along with me. Write it in the comments. Fear. Fear can be the biggest obstacle in most people's way that holds them back from living in their power. Fear of being successful, fear of being unsuccessful, fear of what could happen, fear of what could not happen. Fear. It stops you. It paralyzes you. It makes you question everything in your being when it comes to standing in your power. Number two, criticism. See, that word criticism, it has a negative undertone. That's why when we're talking all the time, I always say, nope, don't say criticism, say feedback. I'm giving you constructive feedback, not constructive criticism. Because criticism makes a person antenna go up and be like, oh God, here we go again. Somebody's about to criticize me for whatever. And even when you're looking at the criticism, you can't see the positive feedback that you may be getting from the messenger. Because all you hear is criticism in the back of your mind. Your analytical side is finding it challenging to see the constructive feedback. It's like, girl, what you think of this outfit? Ooh, first the face. Ooh. Well, you know that you are, that's too tight. You looking at it as criticism because maybe you've gained a few pounds and the person didn't want to say, hey girl, you packed on some weight. You looking at it as criticism versus, yeah, you might be right. It might be a little tight. I'm feeling a little uncomfortable. Let me put something on more comfortable. Or the approach that the person on the other hand, as they're giving you the feedback, the criticism is, woo, that's tight. The constructive feedback is, are you going to be comfortable in that? Because if you're tugging on it and we haven't even left the house, let's stop the tugging before we leave. Okay? So, barrier number one was fear. Barrier number two was criticism. Barrier number three, guilt. Some of us got guilt in our pocketbook. It's like a sledgehammer, very heavy. Guilty of what we did, guilty of what we did not do. Guilt can make you feel inferior. And sometimes when you're feeling inferior, that's the better word to say, inferior, you also berate yourself. And sometimes you berate other people and don't even recognize it. Your demeanor is, and it comes with criticism too, criticism and guilt. Your demeanor is in a not so positive way. So all of your actions and reaction comes from a negative undertone. And so when it happens, it's like you project it out on other people and sometimes don't even realize it. It's like the person who always walks around with a big chip on their shoulder. No one can tell them anything positive because they will see the negative aspect of it. Oh, your hair looks really nice. Oh no, it don't. It didn't go the way I wanted it to go this morning. The person giving you that compliment doesn't know that. Or we say, oh girl, this hair is dirty. I need to wash it. That's not what the person was focusing on. The person was offering you a compliment that you were finding challenging to receive because the mindset is still stuck in another space. And being in that mindset is holding you back from your power. So now we got fear. That was number one. Criticism is number two. Guilt is number three. The final barrier is resentment. Resentment. Otherwise known as anger that you stuff down. Push it down. You suppress it. You resent so many people. You resent your significant other. You resent your parents. You resent you for whatever reason. Some people even resent their children and they don't even realize that they do. It happens. Trust me. When you look at the growth of your child, when you see everything that they're doing outside of how you have guided them, you compliment them, you applaud them, and sometimes, just sometimes, you're feeling like, why didn't I do that? See, the one thing that we need to remember is our children are supposed to exceed us, especially depending on the times. Every just like we're supposed to exceed our parents. I mean, just think about everything the accomplishments that you have achieved, the wins that you have experienced in your life. It's supposed to exceed your parents because they've poured into you everything that they could possibly pour, that they were capable of based on their circumstances of whatever it is that they had and were capable of doing. And now you're taking it to the next level, whatever it means for you. It isn't meant for you to stay stagnant and stuck right where your parents is. I mean, just imagine you may have been born in the 70s. And your parents may have been born in the 50s or the 60s. I don't know. I can't add y'all, so let's go work with me. Whatever was going on in that time, they may do for whatever it is, for what their parents did. And now they're raising you, and whatever it is going on as they're raising you is maybe different. And now it's your season, and whatever may be going on now may be totally different. You see it in old pictures, y'all. And sometimes we hold a little bit, a little small piece of resentment. And that's when my favorite thing is, you're going to have to remember to check the person in the mirror. Because the power that is inside of you, let's call them your wins, like your wins you wrote last night. They're all there. But the 4 barriers is what's preventing you from recognizing it and owning it and standing in it and believing that you are worthy of having it and sharing it with one another, with others. The barriers is limiting you. The barriers are telling you you're not good enough. The barriers are reminding you of where you were. Are you going to allow the barriers to keep doing that to you? Or are you willing to stand in your power? Today's a new day, and you are now in charge. And this is when you are creating the future that you desire. Guess what? Only you can do the work. Only you can make the change. Only you have control of how you think, feel, and act. That's all your responsibility. It's not anyone else's. Take ownership of it. Reclaim the power that you know you have in your possession. Even if it feels like I don't really see it, trust me, it's there. if you review your win assignment, there's power in there. You just need to filter through what felt like it was not a positive situation in your life and focus on the win. I'm serious. So, that is Wisdom's Wednesday's message for today. If it spoke to you, I encourage you to invite some other phenomenal women inside of this community. Share on your page. I'm getting these wonderful, thought-provoking, ass-kicking Wisdom Wednesday messages, and perhaps you could use it too. I want to wish you all an amazing rest of the week. Yes, I was short, sweet, and to the point. I don't need to keep talking on. I wish you all a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you next week for Wisdom Wednesdays. Have a great day.